Not every hunter returns with a meal. 1 second separates success from failure. Patience often becomes the deadliest weapon. With every storm, the savannah is reborn. Where life gathers, predators soon follow. The greatest battle is about to begin. Every successful hunt begins with absolute silence. A family united, yet every member depends on today's hunt. Strength alone means little. Survival begins with unity. One mistake can mean life or death. Experience decides the outcome. Experience decides the outcome. The hunt begins long before the first attack. Predators search for only one opportunity. Chaos erupts in only seconds. Together, even giants refuse to surrender. Experience teaches patience. The African sun tests every creature equally. Wisdom passes from one generation to the next. Danger often waits where life begins. Every journey carries unseen risks. Speed becomes meaningless without perfect timing. For a few breathtaking seconds, she becomes the fastest animal on Earth. Success means protecting every hard-earned meal. Nature wastes nothing. When darkness arrives, new hunters awaken. The king never truly rests. Tonight, one family survives, but tomorrow, the struggle begins again. Another sunrise. Another day where every decision means survival. The herd remembers yesterday's attack. For the pride, another successful hunt is becoming urgent. Sometimes, survival begins with a single breath. Unlike lions, these hunters depend entirely on teamwork. Success belongs to those who move as one. Endurance defeats speed. Today, luck chooses the survivor. Beneath calm water, danger waits silently. In the river, hesitation can be fatal. Sometimes, survival is measured by inches. Even kings know when not to fight. Nature itself can become the greatest predator. Neither side wants war, but neither side will surrender. Experience often detects danger before the eyes can. The moment of truth has arrived. Courage belongs to both hunter and prey. Inside the dust, survival becomes pure instinct. Family is worth every risk. Sometimes, unity defeats strength. Even kings must recover. Nothing in nature is ever wasted. Survival favors the opportunist. Even the smallest hunters fight for their families. From above, danger comes without warning. Speed alone is never enough. The river's giants begin their nightly journey. Darkness gives silent hunters their advantage. Night offers no guarantees. Tonight, patience is finally rewarded. His voice reminds every creature who rules these plains. On the African savannah, every sunrise begins a new chapter, where survival is never guaranteed. Across the Serengeti, one of Earth's greatest journeys begins. For predators, migration brings opportunity. Every step forward carries hidden dangers. The journey pauses at nature's deadliest obstacle. Sometimes, the greatest danger cannot be seen. One decision changes everything. The river claims its price. Every survivor earns another day. Exhaustion creates opportunity. Every lesson may decide a cub's future. Survival is a skill passed from mother to child. For a few seconds, speed becomes everything. For a brief moment, peace returns. Failure is often the greatest teacher. Night belongs to different hunters. A king protects more than territory. He protects his legacy. Even under the moon, the struggle never ends. Tonight they rest. Tomorrow they hunt again. In the African wilderness, every ending is simply the beginning of another fight for survival. As water disappears, every journey grows longer. For every herd, water is more valuable than food. Height offers an advantage, but never complete safety. The sky often knows where death arrives first. Even the smallest families face enormous dangers. Patience often outlasts speed. One heartbeat can change everything. Age brings wisdom and many memories. Some opportunities are worth the risk. Neither warrior is willing to retreat. Power meets determination. Experience decides the outcome. Experience decides the outcome. Sometimes, survival belongs to the one who refuses to fall. Even failed hunters find comfort in family. The savannah prepares for another change. Rain gives life to every corner of the wilderness. Nature always finds a way to begin again. Engine. Every game prepares tomorrow's hunters. The lion cubs stalking each other through tall grass. Predator and prey share the same land, bound together by nature's endless cycle. On the African savannah, no victory lasts forever. Every sunrise begins a new before the sun awakens. Africa belongs to the night. Every sunrise awakens millions of lives. Every hunter begins as a student. Entente. The greatest lesson is knowing when not to strike. Childhood exists, even in the wild. Not every meeting becomes a battle. Some predators rely on silence instead of speed. Even the smallest opportunities matter. A large Nile monitor lizard searches along the muddy river. Family is one of nature's greatest strengths. From the sky, nothing escapes watchful eyes. As daylight fades, every path leads to water. When darkness approaches, new hunters emerge. Patience often waits above the ground. The night reveals a different Africa. The night reveals a different Africa. Every voice has a purpose. A king's presence is known long before he is seen. Every new life begins with its first challenge. The African savannah never repeats the same story. Every door writes a new chapter, and the dry season has returned, and every journey begins with uncertainty. Every footprint tells a story, if the hunter knows how to read it. Experience often walks ahead of strength. Every herd depends on its guardians. Sometimes nature creates fear without danger. The greatest hunters understand the value of patience. As temperatures rise, every drop of water becomes precious. For a brief moment, enemies drink from the same source. With daylight fading, the hunters make their move. As darkness approaches, the next chapter of survival quietly begins. Every successful hunt begins long before the first attack. Instinct speaks faster than fear. Youth brings strength, but experience leads the herd. Patience is the hunter's greatest weapon. Sometimes a hunter learns more by waiting than by striking. Leadership often begins with a single command. In the wild, staying together is survival. Neither side seeks a fight, but neither side will surrender. When the sun disappears, the true test of survival begins. Under the moonlight, every shadow could hide opportunity or danger. Even during rest, vigilance never ends. With every sunrise, hunger returns. The savannah is home to many lives, each following its own rhythm. Every lesson today prepares tomorrow's hunters. Water brings life, and with life comes opportunity. Awareness is often the first line of defense. Some hunters let the world come to them. Nature itself can reshape the day in moments. The rain washes away the dust and begins another chapter of survival. After every storm, the savannah begins again. Fresh rain brings new life and new hope. Every mistake becomes another lesson. Where water returns, life quickly follows. High above the river, Every movement is carefully watched. Even the tallest animals must lower their guard. Speed becomes even more powerful when shared. In the Serengeti, no story truly ends. Every path leads to another journey. Every new day begins with silent preparation. Together, the pride moves as one family. Every journey demands careful protection. Experience leads the way for every generation. Experience leads the way for every generation. Patience belongs to scavengers as much as hunters. Even changing skies cannot alter the rhythm of the wild. Water brings every creature together, if only for a moment. His voice carries farther than the fading light. His voice carries farther than the fading light. In the Serengeti, survival is not a single battle. It is a story written every... The wilderness greets another day with quiet determination. The ground remembers every traveler. For a brief moment, the savannah finds balance. Patience often reveals what movement cannot. Every river supports countless lives. Stillness can be the greatest disguise. Together, the herds prepare for another journey. Even play prepares them for the challenges ahead. As night returns, the family stays close. Beneath the endless African sky, every heartbeat, every journey, and every sunrise continues the timeless story of life on the Serengeti. The wilderness awakens with the rising sun. Every patrol strengthens the boundaries of his kingdom. Protection is the herd's greatest strength. Every path across the plains carries unseen risks. From higher ground, opportunity becomes easier to find. Leadership is earned through experience. The hottest hours belong to patience. A king watches until the last light fades. Every sunrise begins long before the first light. A family's strength begins with unity. The returning rains renew the entire landscape. Every crossing leads toward another chapter. Curiosity teaches lessons beyond the hunt. Every crossing leads toward another chapter. Curiosity teaches lessons beyond the hunt. Every generation learns by watching the last. The sky offers a different view of the wilderness.
Cooler air brings renewed purpose.
His voice reminds the wilderness that he still stands. Darkness changes the landscape, but never the cycle of life. For a short time, survival brings every creature together. The journey continues beyond every horizon. On these ancient plains, every ending becomes another beginning. The Serengeti never stands still, and every new land offers promise and uncertainty. Even the strongest must rest beneath the African sun.
Each dawn brings another chance to survive.
The path ahead is written only by instinct. Even peaceful moments demand constant awareness. Wisdom is passed one careful step at a time. Every successful hunt begins with careful observation. Stillness can be the most effective disguise. The hottest hours reward those who conserve their strength. The sky is always changing, and the wilderness changes with it. As the day cools, every creature returns to the water. A territory is protected through constant vigilance. Twilight brings a brief moment of peace. When darkness falls, the river tells a different story. Every sunrise begins another chapter in the endless cycle of survival. Every new territory offers both promise and uncertainty. Before claiming the land, every king announces his arrival. Not every meeting ends in a hunt. Every hunter has its own unique strategy. Curiosity is valuable, but caution is learned. Simple routines help the herd endure harsh conditions. For a short time, the wilderness shares a common need. Sometimes the greatest movement comes from the land itself. Height provides a view few others can match. As daylight fades, the journey quietly continues. The night carries stories long before they can be seen. With every changing season, the Serengeti writes another chapter, where every creature must once again earn its place in the wild. Every sunrise brings another battle for survival across Africa's endless savannah.